I've given everything, there's nothing left, there's nothing left to lose.
You know, the last video I made was really talking about the past and how can I give advice about the past if I don't talk about something like I said I would do, something personal, right? So, oh man, I gotta adjust this. So one of the first things that I had on my list is something I did when I was really, really young. I got my first credit card. So with my first credit card, it was about, something simple. It was a $1,500 credit limit. And most of us probably did this. Just got first credit card, like, yeah, we got money, you know what I mean, and spent it. And not think about the consequences. I learned the difficult way of owning and having your first credit card. So, yeah, that was a struggle. That really was a struggle. Next on my list was being a rebellious teenager. And I think something that all of us have done in our lives at one point or another, where we just didn't want to get along with our parents and we completely disagreed with everything they thought was right. We were right. They were crazy. Oh, wait, there we go. They were crazy. They have no idea what they're talking about or anything like that, right? I mean, who didn't? Real quick note. If you buy a car or ever get a car and you don't look back at it, you bought the wrong car. Okay? It's simple as that. Back to the point of being a rebellious teenager. We want to be free spirit and we feel like our parents are sometimes too controlling at the time. But as we grow up, we'll learn that they're not just being controlling, they're just trying to teach us something to prepare for us for our future. One thing that I know I've done personally, I took the 9th grade twice. Not many people would know that about me. Not many people understand why did I do it. I was lazy in school. I didn't care. And it reflected that on my grades. And that's something that we all need to really think about when it comes to education and doing things. But we got to reflect on what we did as kids or teenagers, and making those choices. Those mistakes was something I always, remember for what it's done to change me to who I am. My first year of college, I procrastinated. I did what I was supposed to do, but I just was those kids that waited to the last minute. So, I mean, who hasn't? I didn't always make the best financial decisions. I didn't always make the best choices in friends or girlfriends. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm perfect. I've been known to be self-centered sometimes, and naturally we sometimes are selfish. And that's one of the things that I've worked on and tried to work on throughout my life. Along the way, I have hurt many people's feelings, and I try to do the best I can, and I'm trying to just do better every day. And that's something that this is all about. Not only helping you become a better person, but also helping me become a better person. Understanding everything I've done in my past to get to a point where all understand, like, hey, this is real life. This is reality. This is what happens. So, getting to the point of making financial decisions, we don't always think about the future when we do stuff. We don't always think about it, focus on what we need to do to prepare ourselves later on in life. We're so much stuck in the instant gratification of things that we tend to forget what really matters in the long run and not just right now. Do we really need it? No, we want it, yeah, but do we need it? We don't, And that's something that I had to learn growing up over and over again. Like, I'm hard-headed, I will admit that. The lesson for all of this is understand, hey, you're not perfect to be understanding for someone else's situation. Their situation is not always going to be the best, but it's your job as their friend, family member, or something, to be there for them, to help them. You got to make sure you choose the right word in order to understand that what you're saying has a certain effect to that person. The way you say it and the way and how it's said. The key thing is to understand that you have an opportunity to influence somebody in their life. My past indiscretions, the stuff that I've gone through depression. I've gone through anxiety. I've gone through selfishness where I excluded many people out of my life because of things that I have done. Because of those things, I secluded myself, and it hurt because I enjoy being around people. I was one of those kids that always wanted to have that family atmosphere. As I grew up, I was so angry for a lot of things that happened in my life that I didn't forgive because I chose not to forgive. And it wasn't forgiving the person, it was forgiving myself to let it go. And I had to learn to let go, or else I couldn't move on from everything that's happened in my past. If you're listening to this video just for yourself, you gotta forgive in order to move forward. And understand you're doing it for yourself, not for the person. You're doing it for yourself. Because that person, they probably don't care. You're thinking about it because it hurts you that much. You gotta have a positive attitude. That's one of the things I keep talking about. You gotta have positivity in your life. All those negative people, all those negative thoughts, mindsets, you gotta get them out. It's because those are some people that you really care about, that you've had probably 10, 5-year friendships with. If the person that is around you is always talking about what's wrong in their life and not actually about what's happy or what's good in their life, does that bring you down to where you just feel sad just about your life and then you start thinking about yourself? But you gotta really put those things into perspective. All the things that I've talked about now, my anxiety, my depression, anger issues, my rebelliousness, once you start having a positive outlook and seeing that, listen, but not everything's going to be perfect, understand that it's not meant to be perfect. You have to learn from those imperfections to come close to perfect as possible. And that's what you want for yourself. So, please, and as always, please stay positive. So I want to end this with giving a special shout out to Capless Heroes. They allowed me to use their song Long Way to Go as the soundtrack for this video, which I believe set a good tone for how I felt this video should go. So again, I want to thank you. I'll put a link of their SoundCloud in the description below. If you want to check out more of their songs, definitely click on and do that. Also, I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, let me know what you didn't like, or if there's a topic you want to talk about. As always, subscribe up here, and then the previous chapter or page in this chapter is going to be right down here. Again, take it easy, and as always, stay positive.